Welcome to the January Donovan Show. Today is special. I get to be with my first daughter, Pia Donovan, and I get a lot of requests from a lot of the moms of how would Pia or how would your daughters think about dreaming or goal setting or routine. So now I'm going to interview my own daughter, and just you can hear it from her, and also just because her voice is so pivotal to also the young girls. And I think actually this all got started because she was doing a Q&A in front of 20 girls, and they were so moved by her that we thought, well, why don't we just make this an opportunity for even younger girls to learn from you. So Pia, welcome. How do you feel today?
I'm excited to be here.
You're so beautiful. Pia inspires me every day. Okay, so I'm going to do a Q&A, and that way, Pia, you can just answer from your heart and just share, the journey. Raw, real. Okay, so question number one, how do you live out your prayer life as a 16-year-old?
So for me, prayer is really important to enter into my day, and I can really see an impact in a day with prayer and a day without, like at least strong prayer. And for me, it's just sitting in silence a lot of the time, and that's really difficult for me, but learning to be able to pray in silence and letting God work in his life, letting me hear his voice without so many distractions, which does take like a while to do, especially with a lot going on. But I like to read and learn about the faith, so it helps me deeper understand, and going to mass is really helpful for me too.
Pia's homeschooled. So Pia, she decided to homeschool last year. And actually, what was that decision like for you to homeschool last year? What were you thinking that made you decide to want to homeschool?
So for me, I really did enjoy school because I'm a very social person. So being with other people was something I really enjoyed, and that is something that was harder for me to say no to. But being in school also helped me decide, like, there is so much time in this day that I could be using to better myself and to become the future person that I want to be. And I wasn't able to do that in the school setting as much as I could have without it, especially with sports and just a lot of activities going on. So I knew in order to become the best version of myself and the person I wanted to be, I needed to be home and be able to work on myself.
Which is really, you wrestled with that
Yeah.
decision because it was a tough decision. She's doing great. And as a matter of fact, the school, a few teachers reached out to me and basically said, January, how can we convince Pia to stay in school? Because she was very pivotal in her school community. And she was just such a leader. Actually, she won all 3 awards last year for leadership separately, which I thought was very telling of you. And I know you don't necessarily advertise that, but it's very telling of your character, Pia, which I deeply admire. Okay, so tell me about your experience now in homeschooling, and I want to go back into prayer, and so that we can circle back. What's it been like for you to homeschool? What do you see has been the benefit for you homeschooling?
So I think the most beneficial time is the time that I have. This time I spend in school is a lot less than I did in school because I would be there from like 7:45 to like 3:30, and now I'm able to get my schoolwork done in like 2 hours, and then I can use all that other time that I was not necessarily wasting, but I could have been using in a wiser way. I can use to learn and grow in deeper things that I was never able to discover in school.
Okay, so now tell me about what your routine is, but especially in prayer in the morning. Actually, Pia took a great video of us. She sent it to me last week. Took a video, I guess Dad was doing his prayer, and I didn't notice it until afterwards. He sent it to me, and I guess I was doing a prayer on the other side. It was just a great, just real life scenario. And she was coming down to do your prayer. So walk me through that routine.
So I do like to wake up early, like around 5:30. But if I'm in bed later, I try and get like a good 7 to 8 hours of sleep because I'm still growing. But I like to start my day off with prayer and just like silent reflection of like my day and maybe mapping out what I want to do. And then I will do a lot of study time, and I will do the master class, and I'm also like learning some business stuff online, and I'll do my schoolwork, and I'm going through like the catechism right now. So I just like to get those things done with in the morning because I'm a lot more productive. And I was doing the gym early morning, but it's a little harder for me to have a good workout in the morning. So usually after I finish my work, I like to go to the gym and work out.
Which is okay. So I think that was even a conversation we were having because I thought, Pia, first thing in the morning, your mind is so susceptible. And so that's when you should study. But at the same time, I've really seen you take care of your physical health and working out consistently. I mean, it's inspiring to me because I don't, obviously. I don't love to work out. They laugh at me because I do my walks, and she's always encouraging me, Mom, just go for a walk, just because it gets busy and I haven't prioritized it. But how has that become important in your life?
Exercise.
Yes.
It just really helps me to work towards something because I'm still figuring out my goals, but I know for sure that I do want to be physically fit, and I think there's a really big importance of that. So just for me, like having something to work towards and having that like really good feeling of like I'm getting good exercise, I'm helping my it doesn't just help me physically and make my body healthier. It creates good habits for me because I'm doing things that are uncomfortable, but I know in the end they're really good for me.
Yeah, and so maybe walk me through just how you've been able to learn how to study your body, the things that we learn at the house that I think for a long time you resisted. Every child kind of resists, but how has the I would say culture or the conversation, especially your dad, who's always giving you things to think about, how has that influenced your ability to study your own body, eat healthier, and make better choices?
So I think definitely from you, I've gained a lot of like knowledge about food and what's healthy for me and what works for my body and what I need to like eat to be able to do the certain things that I do every day. So just like eating vegetables and meats and just knowing those things, I think was really helpful. Like learning that from you because I know you're really healthy, but you really enjoy the healthy food. So I guess learning to love to eat healthy is something I've been working on.
What do you mean? And how would you describe, I guess, what I eat? Because people always like, what do you eat January? I'm like, what does that look like? I'm like, I eat weird, whatever that looks like.
I think you eat really, really healthy and clean. And I do enjoy a lot of the healthy foods, but it's almost like you don't even enjoy the unhealthy foods, which is kind of
I like
confusing.
a good cookie. It has to be a good cookie.
But yeah,
But I love a good like my treat is rice. It's
yeah,
just it's my
I don't get that.
but I think that it's training. You know that. It's not like you
Yeah,
wake up and you realize, oh, let me choose good quality food and enjoy it. You know that. You changed your palate in so many ways. Would you agree?
yeah, I definitely have.
And you can but what do you do that I think is important is that you eat and then you study how you feel. Like that's one thing that I'm always we're at the house, we're like, what's that runny nose, how do you feel, are you sluggish? Explain that to I think the girls.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of foods that after I eat them, I don't feel good. And then there's certain, and I figure out this certain food, it doesn't make me feel good. Or especially with like pimples and stuff, I'm really like onto like these certain processed foods. I probably will wake up with a pimple if I keep on eating this, or like soda and that type of stuff. So I'm just really like focusing on like when I eat this amount of sugar, like I get super tired and it doesn't help me, like, especially when I'm at the gym. So it's like just creating like a good diet to have like nutrients and not just like food that tastes good.
Yeah. And I think you've had to really wrestle with it because, okay, so how do I challenge you, but also not control you? Because I think that's an important thing. It's not like I say, Pia, you cannot have this,
Yeah.
because obviously, but because I think that's an important narrative because it's such a dance. Like as a mom, I'm always trying to figure out how can I help my children live a life of excellence in every little thing, not just in big things, but in micro things. So explain that because I think that's important because if I force things to you, you would rebel. And I know that about my children. So explain that to them maybe. What does that look like in our own home?
Just like reminding me and keeping me in check, like, oh, just like Pia, make sure like you're treating yourself, or like just reminding me that these things aren't always that healthy for me. And that helps me to realize, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be eating this, or maybe I shouldn't be doing that. But I do have to make like that decision on my own, and I will like have the consequences if I decide to have too much sugar and then I'll wake up sick. But I actually really do enjoy eating healthy because I think that the food that you make that's healthy is like really, really good. So I don't
Well,
mind.
that's the thing, yeah. And I always tell you, like, that's our role as a mom is that I have to make it taste good so that you're going to want to eat it,
Hmm.
right? And this is another topic that we can talk about the importance of kitchen skills. But any last minute advice to the girls as we wrap up this session?
With like my schedule
With
of the day.
prayer, I would say with prayer, with prayer.
Okay, so I think that the most important thing is that you just need to start with like, even if it's just 10 minutes a day, just prayer. Even if it's silent or if you're praying a rosary, just being able to enter in prayer and letting God come into your life for that period of time. And it really will make like an impact on the rest of your day.
Well, thank you everyone as you tune in. And we're going to if you have any questions that you want to ask Pia, send them our way. And that way you get to share it with your girls and you get to learn just raw, real life failures, growth, and how we can learn together. Because at the end of the day, we are responsible in nurturing our own children to becoming the woman that God created them to be. God bless you all. We'll see you at the next podcast.